Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo and welcome to another YouTube video. I'm joined today by Deviant-Soulmates. Where did
Hello.
that go? There it is. So you can check her work out here at deviantart.com/Deviant-Soulmates. Awesome. And yeah, today I'll be painting, you can see me painting page 3 of this book, the final going into colour. Yeah, so that's very exciting.
I love how that one's turning out. That looks gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like every page is getting better, like, you know, and that gives me, you know, I have to go back to page 2 and 1 and be like, oh, you know, this isn't as good as it could be, and so eventually I'll go back and fix them up a bit further. But
yeah, that's always good to be able to go back to your old works.
Yeah, so you were on a video probably a wee while back, probably 2 or 3 months ago, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that back then I was actually in my other room, but I had to move because now my daughter's in there, so you know she's taking over that room. So yeah, I had to move into our room now, so it's an interesting difference, you know, waking up and my computer's right there, and also I can watch movies in bed on my TV in here, and you know, it's a bit different, and now we also have a better internet connection.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
sounds like you got yourself a good setup going on.
Definitely, it's starting to, you know, work out a bit better. I still have to try and like organize stream times and stuff like that, because you know I've got to find the perfect time sometimes. I always have to get my daughter asleep while I'm doing this, otherwise, you know, she could be screaming in the background somewhere.
Yeah, I understand how that could be.
It can be a hassle, but you know, it works out. I mean, there was a stream the other week and it was going to be at 12 p.m. and it was like, oh my gosh, you know, my daughter's not falling asleep right now. And bang on 12 o'clock I put her to bed and she just fell asleep, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was so close, you know.
Busy life being a parent.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you got that, and you got my work life as well, which is busy. But yeah,
yeah, I can imagine.
The last 3 weeks it's been quite slow, which is good.
That is good.
Yeah.
Well, anytime that you have for downtime to be able to do stuff like this is any good time for me then.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so I'm on a crazy schedule, you know. Yeah, I just try and put my most into it.
Yep.
Yeah, but you,
that's fun to be able to do that, though. Be able to devote some time to kind of relax and draw and do your art. Seems like you have a lot of fun doing your paintings.
It's definitely a lot of fun. I enjoy just like what it's gonna look like. I mean, you know, there's sweat and tears in it all, you know.
Absolutely.
There's always challenging points where it's like, you know, I can't work on it any further, or it's just not working out, the painting or something at points. But you know, it's eventually just fighting through that, and you know, you'll get somewhere.
Yeah, part of the joy and struggle of art.
Yeah, definitely. How are you? What have you been up to since we last talked?
I've been very busy trying to do a whole bunch of Christmas theme commissions. I might have gone a little Christmas crazy this year, and I opened up all exclusive Christmas stuff, and everyone wanted something Christmas themed, and I was like, oh, absolutely, go right ahead. And now I have like 10 Christmas themed images backed up, and I'm like, oh goodness, I have to get this all done before Christmas Day. So everything's
Yeah.
just Christmas theme, Christmas theme.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, eh? Um,
It's pretty fun though. I enjoy
mm,
kind of doing holiday themed images, especially since here at home it's snowing quite a bit. We've had
mm.
almost a foot of snow, and it's been staying around for weeks and weeks. So pretty easy to get into that Christmas mood when it's all snowy outside 24/7.
It's different here because our Christmas is summer. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't get snow, we get heat. Um, and
That would be really interesting trying to get used to that change.
mm, yeah, it's different. Like we pretty much swim on Christmas because my parents have a pool. Um, so we have fun. You know, they were doing last year. I think they were doing water balloons. They throwing water balloons at each other.
Uh huh.
Done water guns and all that kind of thing. But I'd like to one day maybe experience like a winter Christmas. That might be really cool. One day.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Oh, absolutely. That would be. I think if I wasn't used to having a cold Christmas, I would definitely want to experience it at least sometime because it just kind of completes the entire experience.
Mm. It's on my bucket list.
Well,
uh,
hopefully you're able to experience it some. I
yeah.
live up here in the mountains, so it starts snowing by the month of October easily, and it doesn't go away until at least June.
Mm. Awesome. That sounds cool. I've been around snow.
It's cold.
I preferred the cold versus the heat.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely same.
it's just
Well, have there been any other projects you've been wanting to get started on here recently?
um, there's always like heaps of projects I want to do. So I've been gouache painting. You YouTube peoples might have seen some of my gouache paintings that I've done. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
One was the nighttime hedgehog scene, and that's a
Hmm.
three that will be a three-part series using animals day, night, and dawn. I think it is. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
three-part series for my daughter just to hang it on the wall for paintings for her. And
Oh, that sounds sweet.
mm, and yeah, one's involving a panda. Um, Playing with a little baby panda in the sun, and so I've got those projects that I want to paint up eventually. Um, but I mean, at the moment, it's this YouTuber doing it every week is that's keeping me really busy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I have to I have to really prioritize what is goes first. So at the moment, yeah, my YouTube goes first over anything else for me, because that's what I want to do, uh, and that's what I feel like I can build up further. And I'm also getting out a book from this because this is page 3 of a book. So
Mm-hmm.
just if I get all this done, this page 3, I will then be able to because I'm pretty sure I've got the drawings somewhere around here for those gouache paintings pretty much sorted.
Hmm.
So I just have to get the canvas and put it on the canvas and start painting it from there.
Yeah,
So and
that
I
sounds like fun.
mm, so it's just the initial setup stage for me. I've been talking about this for a few weeks, like you know your setup stage versus your the whole process of actually doing it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and sometimes my setup stage, especially for traditional pieces, can be quite long. to get the right drawing and to get it on the canvas right and all that stuff you have to do before you
Yeah.
actually do the work, which is a challenge because I don't really record that, so it's like it could take a week to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Were you gonna say something?
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah.
Sorry, you slightly cut out, so if I don't say anything, you just go ahead and repeat what you said again, and I'll hear you.
hmm Yeah, so I can't afford not to record for a week because otherwise then my YouTube might be missing a video, or I'll have to do like show their artwork, which I don't mind doing. Which is I've done Turnip Berries. I showed their artwork rather than show recording, which I don't mind doing. It's pretty cool to do it that way too. It's just I would prefer to.
Yeah, sounds.
So you cut out again.
Oh no, I said it sounds like it is cool to work with.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, this YouTube obviously keeps me on my toes, so doing anything else is really a challenge. I am doing other things, like I've got another side YouTube kind of channel that we kind of just, it's a little podcast just laughing kind of a thing. It's not really associated at all with this channel. It's just kind of a fun get together thing with my mates.
Yeah.
That I'm doing on the side just for fun. And but yeah, this book is definitely keeping my toes. I mean, even
Yeah, it sounds like it.
even on the side, I have to, if I'm like I can't continue painting this. I really need to now, but I can't because I'm stuck, or I just need a breather. I'll be like, oh well, I might as well start putting the book together. So that's what I'm doing at the moment too, is I'm just finishing the text off, placing the imagery in the book and the page numbers and everything, and just, it's all placeholder until I come back and be like, oh, I might design it this way. It's a bit of a learning curve as well, because in a usual book design, the way, because we had a illustrator come into our design or illustration class for Wanganui computer graphic design. She came in and she showed the whole process of like getting a book published and illustrating a book. Before they do the final paintings, they have the text and the like the final drawing image there already worked out, which is really good because when you come and place the final painting into the book, you know where it goes. You don't have to do much. You've already got the text and the image placement all sorted. Where for this one, because I've gone ahead of just kind of illustrating and writing the book at the same time, I've got that issue of having to come back and work the text in somehow. So that's going to be a fun process. I've got a few like ideas of how I might do it, and also it's got to, if I find a method for like one page, it's got to work for all the pages as well. Per se, like you can't have like white text in the background on one page and be like, oh, I just want black text down the bottom on this page. It might not, the whole book might not feed well. Yeah, so it's a bit of design as well into creating this book, which is,
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of different things you have to kind of keep in consideration just for putting artwork all together.
definitely. It's it's different from just what I've been doing probably 3 or 4 months ago, just kind of creating characters and um, creating scenes and a few other things. It's quite,
Mm-hmm.
it's very, this is a bigger project. Yeah, I just look forward to seeing where every page goes. Um, hmm, yeah, and yeah, I'm doing a Christmas themed painting as well. Um,
Nice.
hmm. I usually do one every year. I have a Christmas stream of some sort. Um,
That sounds like fun.
mm, yeah, I think I did it. I've done it in 2 years with my mates Daniel and Steve, and um, yeah, we just kind of paint, and I just paint and we talk about whatever we've been up to for the last year, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, last year it was just kind of simple drawings. It was just, I think it was like a porg on a llama or something. The Star
Uh-huh.
Wars porgs. It was just a fun, interesting thing we did. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I mean back then I was just starting to get into this kind of stuff where I pre-recorded my videos and we talked, kind of a thing. Whereas the year before, I was doing more just live streams of me drawing while I talk. Um, yeah, I decided to scrap that because, like, I would end up doing one stream and it'd be 45 minutes or whatever, and I don't exactly come out with a good painting from 40 minutes of streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it would push me to do it because I've got audience watching me um, doing it and trying to you know excite them for what I'm doing. Um, but it's like, oh, stuff up on screen, and it's like, oh, okay, interesting. So it'll end up like 3 streams or something, and I may end up with something okay. Um, but in the end, it's like I finish it off stream, and you know it. Yeah, it's not the best quality I ended up with because of all that. Me just kind of chatting away for 45 minutes and getting
Yeah. Well,
distracted.
not to,
Mm,
you can also get kind of like live feedback at the same time. I always
mm,
enjoy doing my streams for certain projects that maybe I feel a little bit skeptical about how it might turn out.
mm,
And having a live audience can kind of inspire it to take a bit of a different turn than what you might have expected, just because hearing people's feedback can always change. Like, oh, wait, maybe I should go for more of this route for this picture. And
mm,
sure enough, you kind of feel like maybe having that audience can help you do something that you wouldn't have ever thought on your own.
definitely. Um, but I mean, it's hard to get an audience as well, um, especially on Twitch. Uh, but
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe trying another streaming app out because I don't exactly like, they'll be spontaneous because of my life schedule and because of my kid as well.
Mm-hmm.
I had a stream like I think on Wednesday or something, and she was asleep, and I was like, oh, I'll randomly do a stream because it's a perfect moment for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a random stream of like some of the process of this page probably. So it wasn't actually a one that goes on YouTube. It's just Twitch ones, um, which I'd love to do more often. Um,
Yeah, of course.
mm,
Well, if I could make a suggestion, I think Picardo is one of my favorite streaming places for doing artwork. They've done a lot of improvements to their site, and it's a lot more comfortable for me to stream on there and have an audience, I'd say.
awesome. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely look it up. Um,
And doing multi streams is another plus. If you can get somebody to do a multi-stream with you and you both work on a drawing, I think that's always like such a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful thing to be able to have to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. Um, mm, I haven't really done multi-streams per se, but I had an artist on from Twitch here, Artsy Axolotl,
Hmm.
which she does streams on Twitch all the time, and she's really cool, which is awesome. I had her in, and we talked a bit about Twitch as well, and how she does that, and yeah, it goes good for her, and it definitely works differently for everyone. I know
Hmm.
one artist I do watch, or I used to watch. I don't really watch him anymore, so I don't have a lot of time. But Chill Shin, he's really big on here on Twitch, and I always like to see his work. And there's all these fun things he does as well, like he gets the audience to interact with him, which is awesome.
Hmm.
I like that. I've actually got one of his Inktober drawings from, I think it's from last year. Last year's Inktober. I've got one of his Inktober drawings because I entered a draw and won the Inktober drawing, and it's really awesome. I just I really should get a frame for it to stick it up on my wall.
Hmm.
Because he's a huge inspiration. I mean, that was kind of when Twitch was becoming a thing, like everyone was on Twitch. And, everyone thought it was just a gaming, but then, they had creative, and, more people are on creative these days.
Hmm.
It was such a big audience diverse as well, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should try getting more interested in Twitch streaming. I never did get around to it just because I never really knew how to work the application, I guess, if I'm being completely honest.
Mm. It's definitely a learning curve. Like, I mean, when I first learned how to stream, I was like, YouTube, how to stream, and then I was like, oh, then I found this program, OBS, and eventually it took a few streams to learn how to actually do it and stop it, and actually have like music in the background, and how to hear my voice with music in the background, and
Hmm.
then how to stream with talking with multiple people, and there's always challenges that come up, and it's a whole learning curve. And then how I get my videos from Twitch to YouTube, and I mean it doesn't really matter what platform you use. I mean, for me, I think if I might search up another streaming thing, because I mean it's great to have Twitch here, but I feel like because it's such a gaming based kind of streaming thing, that is definitely really, really hard to get a following on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, most of the streamers I know, they do art, but then they also do like streaming of games as well.
Hmm.
Where I don't stream games at all, so I think that's why, Mm.
I think I would if I could tell my computer would be able to handle it, but
Oh, definitely, I've got the same issue as well. If I play a game and start streaming at the same time, the likelihood of my computer crashing is probably, 50%. Or
yeah, exactly
60%,
same.
I'd probably stream for like 10 minutes, and then start to either the stream will crash, or the whole computer will crash, or something will happen.
Yeah, something like that.
Even just playing games, I can play games on this computer, but if I keep on playing them, it ends up my computer will crash for no reason.
Hmm.
I'm looking at upgrading one day. I'm like, I go to the stores and look at all the desktop computers and I'm like, oh, I want that one. mm. There was one at one store and it looked like a transformer. It was really awesome.
That sounds pretty cool.
hmm Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my current laptop. I have the MSI laptop, and it's good enough just for doing my artwork and streaming. And I probably shouldn't try streaming games, but I'm pretty sure I might be able to if I wanted to. But I don't really try to take that risk.
Yeah.
It's a little bit older than it should be.
Yeah, well, this one's quite a few years as well. 6 or 7 years, I think. And it's surprising. It's like, oh my gosh, I've had this computer for that long now. Yeah, time just goes by, eh?
Mhm.
Yeah, but it does the job. So at the moment, it's had a few issues in lately. Like I would randomly get a blue screen,
Mhm.
or it would just like shut down. Or to get this funny screen where it's like all pixelated.
Yeah, what makes you so scared and you realize, oh my goodness, I may not get my computer to work again.
Exactly, I just restarted and it's like, oh, yes, it's back.
I remember when I very first started doing digital artwork, I was using GIMP, the free art program, probably what everybody ever starts with. And I never had a tablet. I just used a mouse and a keyboard, and that was pretty atrocious. But I never really was good at saving, and I was never really good at taking care of my computer either. So I remember when I would work on a project and my computer would suddenly blue screen, I would just sit there and cry. And I was probably only like 14 years old, and I would scream and tell my dad, I don't know why I ever thought I'd be an artist. This is the worst thing in my life. I'll never be good at art because I don't know what to do about this. And he's like, well, did you save it? And I'm like, no, I shouldn't have to save it. It should be able to save itself. And that was like my biggest concern being younger, was having that issue where I didn't want to have to save my drawings. I just wished my computer would automatically do it. And you get used to saving it, but that was funny. That was my biggest problem back then.
Definitely. I mean, I used CS2 or CS3, and we had like the most slowest computers ever. Like, because my files would end up like, probably like close to a gigabyte or something. And I'd save it, and it would take like 20 minutes to save it.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh my gosh! What I had to do is like, if I had a class before that, I'd have to really jot down my time. It would be like, well, I can do like 20 minutes here, save it, and then go to my next class. It's not too bad if I was in the same class that day, because we had our photography and our design class in the same room. So if I was there for lunch and we had photography or design that day, I'd be like, oh, so I just let the computer save it while I'm in class.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though.
And I remember I got this little rocket computer. And I gave it to my mate, and it ended up exploding on him. I was like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But like, hey, thanks a lot.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, jeez. Oh, lucky I didn't use it. But unfortunately,
if you were working on an art project, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be concerned. I'd be like, wow, that's not something I expected.
Yeah. But I've used all sorts. I did use GIMP back when I didn't have like Photoshop or anything. And well, I was mostly into traditional drawing, um, usually painting in color pencil. Digital painting wasn't really my thing back then. I was like just using it to edit photos together and things like that. Even back then I was doing basically drawings in my book, take photos and then edit them on Photoshop together to create the cover art and stuff. That's the way I did it. And these days now, like probably four years back or something, I just they had a tablet in my design course, and I just used it, and I was like the only one that used it in the class pretty much. Everyone else just kind of liked their computers and sat on their computers doing it that way. And I was really into traditional art, and I was like, oh, I'm not ever going to do digital art. And then I just tried the on-screen tablet, and I was like, oh, this actually feels like I'm actually painting, like, on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I actually quite like it. And, the first digital painting was, I at the time I was like, oh, it was quite good. But now I look at it, it's like, oh my gosh, I did that back then. It's, yeah. Yeah, I've there's a lot of programs out there that you can use. Everyone recommends Photoshop. That's what I'm used to, and when I upgrade my computer, I'm either going to have to pay for the subscription to Photoshop. Otherwise, I'll have to use something else.
Yeah, I used to use Photoshop back whenever I had that, but I didn't feel like it kind of left that natural feeling for the pen. So I use Paint Tool SI all the time, and I actually just recently stopped using that, and now I'm using Clip Studio Paint, and that feels really nice being able to draw with that, because it kind of has a combination of Paint Tool SI and Photoshop, because I always had to use my Paint Tool SI and then take it into Photoshop and then do the special effects, and I just prefer to have it all in one single program.
Oh, awesome.
But it works really nice.
Yeah, each their own. I use Photoshop because I have it and I'm used to it. But I mean, I'm pretty confident that if I get another program, if I get another computer, it'll be pretty easy to adapt. I still have that option of using Photoshop, because if this computer survives, I can just, switch computers. And if I really need Photoshop, I'll be like, I'll edit with Photoshop. For the time being or something like that. But I feel like, I'm pretty good at adapting, because I've used various mediums. The one most fun experience was oil painting. Oh, that was a mission. Oil painting works really well, but when the first time I used it, I was trying to get it off my brush, and I was like, my brush has gone blue. I can't get the blue out. And I was like, oh no. So I had to, go down to the store, buy some turpentine and clean my brushes with that, and it was a whole learning experience. And then after I used oil for that painting, I was like, I don't want to use them again, because I had to dispose of the turpentine, and it was fun.
It sounds like it, though. My first experience with paint was always with acrylics. I never got to actually use oil paint. I've always wanted to, though, but My problem with acrylics is I would work on this painting and it would turn out really beautiful and I'd love it. And I'd come back a little bit later and it dried and the colors would all muddle together and it just
Mm,
dries so it just didn't look the same. It just
mm,
didn't look as vibrant as originally. And that was something my art teacher explained to me was when you're using acrylics, you gotta kind of keep in mind that when the colors dry, especially if they're cheap acrylics, which mine were,
mm,
once it dries, it doesn't dry the same color all the time.
exactly. That yeah, definitely you gotta keep that in mind with traditional. Um, that's why I like color pencil. It is what you see on the paper.
hmm
You don't come back a day later and it'd be like, oh shit, the color of my pencil changed. I'm definitely considering it. Uh, Doing a color pencil drawing next year. Um,
hmm
in between this book, I might, give this a break, like one time, like I am for the Christmas and New Year streams. Um,
hmm
this will be on a little break for 2 weeks, and then, I may continue um, doing these pages, or I might decide to do something else just for one stream and continue it. I'm not too sure yet. um, I've gives me some time because I've just got to finish off the Christmas painting, and then
hmm
that gives me like 2 and a bit weeks to finish off another painting before then. Um, yeah, and hopefully that gives me time to catch up as well. Um, because there was points this year where I had like 3 streams ready to go. So that, at that stage I did get a lot of work, so I didn't have a lot of time to continue on painting, but um,
hmm
which but it worked out in the end that I could do this every week, and
Hmm.
I've been doing it for 2-3 months now, every week, which it's been a challenge, definitely has been, um, but it's a challenge I'm willing to take. Yeah. So
Yeah, sounds like a good challenge.
hmm. So you stream on Picato, did you say?
Sorry, say that again.
You stream on Picato, did you say?
Yeah, Picardo.
Ah, yeah, awesome. Do you stream there often, or?
I try to stream as often as I can,
Hmm.
but probably I'd say 4 times a month.
Ah, yeah, yeah. It's not too bad, eh? Um,
Try to keep it often on there.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, it depends on, people's life schedules, eh? Um, do you stream your commission stuff, or you just personal works?
I do both. I sometimes
Hmm.
stream the commission work if they're okay with me showing it on the stream itself. Obviously, if someone's commissioning like a present for their friend and their friend showed up in stream, that might be a little awkward.
Hmm.
But no, I usually just kind of do whatever I feel like I'm struggling with, or I just sometimes for me when I'm working on a commission and it just feels like it's dragging on, and I just can't finish it, or I can't find the motivation to finish. If I put up a stream, then I know since I have that audience, I know I need to finish it up then and there because otherwise that's kind of odd for the audience if I'm just kind of sitting there and I'm like, I really don't want to be working on this right now.
Hmm. Well, that's cool, It drives you to do more.
hmm
Which, when I was doing live streams was definitely a bonus of streaming live kind of a thing. Um,
hmm
it keeps you going. You can't be like, oh, I'm just going to take a break for 5 minutes and continue. Well, you can, but, you'd have to stop the stream for some of them, or, um,
Yeah.
you know, um, which I've been watching a few, like, how to get more productive and things like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting. I actually, one that I watched actually talked about how you should, so you don't want to tackle one huge task, because your brain will be like, oh, it's so huge, I can't do it, and it will fight against doing that task. So if you break them down into tasks, for instance, like this book, I'm breaking them down into each page,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm, kind of finishing the book from there. I'm doing it one at a time, finishing them off.
Yeah, of course.
So that's less daunting for me. I don't have to feel so scared about finishing a whole book. I can just finish a page at a time, and eventually it'll come together, and doesn't feel like so much. And same thing for...
Absolutely.
Good day and welcome to a new
I don't
video.
know why that
Don't
came
forget to
on.
like, share, subscribe.
Anywho, sorry for that, guys. All this things going on, eh? But yeah, and also he talks about working for 30 minutes and then take a 5-minute break,
Mm-hmm.
which is something I'm kind of implementing, which is quite good, because if you do something for sometimes you can get a lot done in half an hour, especially if you're going to have a 5-minute break, and after that half an hour, you can get quite done when you're focused. Whereas if you work for like an hour, but then you're kind of distracted, and you need a half-hour break or something, it's less less productive. The other thing is also write down your distractions. He talks about, so just if you have a distraction, like one thing bad for me is YouTube. That's a big distraction. So I really think I should write that a bit more. Don't look on YouTube while painting. I mean, it's good sometimes because I watch a stream, or I watch someone chatting, podcast or something while I'm working, which is quite good. But
Yeah, that's pretty good advice there, though.
yeah, it was. It's I can't remember where it's from, but yeah, it's really cool. It's really given me something to think about, and yeah. Have you got any plans like just before the New Year's, or
Oof.
things like
I
that?
don't think so. I'm not exactly a party kind of person. I'm probably not going to do anything except for just hang out here at the house, and that'll be it.
Awesome.
What about you?
Oh yeah, I had a few Christmas plans, but other than that, not a lot. But I've got 2 streams coming up, or 3 actually, for the last 3 streams of the year coming up. So I've got that Christmas painting to do, and then I've got to plan for next year and things like that.
Sounds like a pretty busy schedule then.
Do you set goals for the year, or do you just go into the year?
Probably study human anatomy. I think dragons are definitely one of my strong suits, but I think I need to start working on some of the weak points in my work, which would be studying that. So if I can, my goal for next year is do almost all humans and
Awesome.
start taking time to draw more of what I feel like I need to focus on.
Awesome. That sounds good. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming in, and thanks Deviant-Soulmates for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was really fun getting to listen to all the stuff you're talking about. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to have you in. Yeah, and check her workout at DeviantArt/Deviant-Soulmates. It's yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a good one. See you in the next video. Goodbye.